Well, John, how have things been here at the training ground during the international break?
It's been good to have a couple of really good training blocks. The start of the international break, a couple of days off after the Hull defeat, and we had a bit of time to digest. The game, obviously the build-up of games before that, and it gave us a good time or a good period of days and a good period of training blocks to actually get back onto the grass and start to work on things again. So, it's been nice to have that time off. Very importantly, I think a bit of rest and recuperation for some of the players that are just coming back from injuries as well. So we feel we're in a stronger place after these sort of 10 to 12 days.
What was the balance like between putting that whole game behind you and then sort of looking forward to the Millwall game as well?
Yeah, I think we had to make sure that we looked at the game, looked at what we could have done better, but also didn't just take that game in isolation, looking at the previous block of 4 or 5 games and thinking, right, what do we need to do to change our fortunes? What do we need to do to turn around some of these results and to make them a lot more positive? So that's been a big focus of what we're trying to do this week, and to try and not throw the baby out with the bathwater, but certainly tweak certain areas that we need to be better at, and we're fully aware of what we need to do and how we need to perform at the weekend.
Set pieces, perhaps an area needed to be worked on going into that whole game and obviously after it as well. What work have you been able to do in this time?
Yeah, I mean, we've done plenty of work on set pieces all season, believe it or not. I know that's not necessarily shown itself in terms of some of the defending that we've been putting in over the past couple of weeks. But we did a fair bit before the whole game. Obviously, went into the whole game. The setup was right. We got everything right, but unfortunately, we just lost a challenge at the back post. So that obviously comes out in the game and post matches. There's a weakness there in terms of defensive set plays. Absolutely fine. It's not going to be a secret. It's something we really need to focus in on and work on and make sure we bang on it. I think we have to make sure there's a couple of things that we get right. Number one, the setup, and then number two, we just have to show the intensity and aggression to go and win headers, and we need to be a lot better at that as a team, particularly against a physical side of the weekend. So, very, very important part of the game.
What's the latest injury news?
Yeah, there's probably quite a bit to update everyone on. Number one, I think the players that are going to be back for the weekend. John Swiss back from illness, so he's available. We've got Segs, Langy and Nico all back in full training this week, so they're all available for the weekend, which is a real boost for us to have the 3 of those back. I think in terms of the longer term ones, Franco is back in training as of Monday next week. We are not expected to see him on the football pitch for probably 4 to 6 weeks in terms of a competitive game, because of the fact that he spent so long injured and so long coming back. We just can't take that risk. We've got to really build him up before he's ready. A similar position with Harvey in terms of when he's going to return to train, but we're happy with Harvey's progress. He's closer to returning to being available for a game, so that'll be the back end of next week. He returns to training, and then hopefully it's going to be a shorter block than we're looking at Franco for when he's actually back and available for selection. Connor shocked to see no change there. Looking at the back end of December, Wads and Connor Ogilvie, no change, progressing well, but not until the back end of January or early February for the pair of them. And I think the final one is Jacob Farrell. He's the only one we don't have a time scale on. We're just waiting to see how his groin settles down. So we're day to day and a little bit week to week with Jacob, and just waiting to see how that progresses.
In terms of those waiting in the wings, Callum Lang, Adrian Segacic, Nico Schmidt, how much of a boost is it to have them back, not only for you in terms of selection, but to sort of boost things around the place, both in terms of atmosphere and quality on the training pitch?
Yeah, it's always good to have players back and available. I think gives us a bit of a selection headache first and foremost. One of the areas we've really struggled this year is going forward, creating a bit more, scoring a bit more. So to have Segs back, who scored goals this year, Langy with his 10 goals last year straight away, I think that gives us a boost at the top end of the pitch, gives us a few more options in areas we've been slightly struggling. And Nico comes back and boosts that goalkeeping department. I think in his absence, I think Joe and Ben have done brilliantly well, but it's always good to have players back.
Millwall this weekend, what are you expecting from Alex Neil's side?
Yeah, they're a very good side. I think since Alex came in last season, they had a very, very good end to the back end of last year, beat us twice with really good displays. And I think they've added really well, and they've got better over the summer, not just in terms of players brought in, but I think in terms of the way that they're playing. And I think what you can expect from Millwall side, or what you usually expect from Millwall side, you're going to get with this team. But I think they've added the quality and added the technical capability as well. So also play some really good football, and they've got a really good blend of that. And they've had a very, very good start to the season. Probably take out the Birmingham game, but apart from that, very solid, and it's going to be a really good test.
And back at Fratton Park on Saturday, a massive opportunity and a huge game for us in front of our home supporters.
Yeah, it's a massive one for us, and we're going to need every inch of the support that the the fans can give us. We know we're going to get that. We know it's going to be a raucous atmosphere, and what we then have to do at the start of the game in particular is try and mirror that and actually try and give everybody something to get excited about, to get off their seats about, and ultimately, the support that we get, we have to, like I said, we have to show the intensity, the aggression, the purposefulness going forward, and try and keep it that way for 90 minutes. Because I think as much as we'll mirror the fans and their intensity and their aggression, it's the same the other way. So I'm really looking forward to it. I think we're due that sort of run at home. We need to make sure that after some of the performances and the results, particularly at home, we need to get back to where we were at times last season, and Saturday's a great opportunity to do it.